Welcome to Standout from the Crowd, the podcast dedicated to helping professionals and leaders amplify their voice, impact, and influence. Are you ready? Let's go.
Hello, hello, hello. Bonjour, salam alaikum, beautiful people. How are you doing today? It's a real pleasure to be back for a new live episode of Stand Out from the Crowd. If you're new here, my name is Darine, and this is Stand Out from the Crowd with me, your host, for the next 30 minutes. Every Wednesday, I get the opportunity to interview some of the brightest thought leaders and entrepreneurs of our time. And today, our standout guests have been through a lot in the past few years, especially with the pandemic and all the crazy stuff happening around organizations and companies laying off people. But listen, that was an opportunity for her to reveal herself and to leverage what was available to build a business and make the most out of it. So today our standout guest is Shree Mahabir, and she's going to share with us her best tips on how you can leverage videos and, most importantly, go over your fear of getting on videos to build your leadership status and build your brand. So please help me welcome Sri Mahabir. Hello, madam.
Hello, hello. Thank you for that awesome intro. And anybody who's watching your intro, you have a lot of Vogue tips there. I mean, just fabulous, fabulous pictures. I'm like, I need to take tips from you.
Thank you. But today we are here to talk about your journey and how you went from being an employee to becoming building yourself up as a leader. Because I like to say, and there is this old debates: are we born leaders? Do we become leaders? I do strongly believe that we do become leaders, and sometimes life doesn't give you any other choice but to push yourself outside of your comfort zone and to become the leader you were meant to be. So, Sri, I know your story, but for our audience here who doesn't know you yet, can you please tell us a little bit more about who you are and what you do?
Yes, thank you again. And thank you for everybody who's joining, Robert. I am to start the journey, it really started with when the pandemic happened. And I was like, how can I build visibility to my brand and my business? I started this business in 2019 because when the father of my daughter passed away, he didn't leave a legacy. So I started a business with a legacy in mind. But here I am in the middle of the pandemic. How do I get clients? How do I get visibility? I'm seeing Ed Emlet, Jay Shetty, they're going live. And I'm like, I could do that. But how? And then I saw my friend going live on Instagram and I said, wait, I know her. I can do this. If she can do it, I can do it. And that's how it started. I asked 9 people and I started going live on Instagram, interviewing other entrepreneurs to give them a spotlight to share their journey so we can learn. At the same time, I was learning. It was a master class because every Tuesday and Thursday, I was bringing on a different guest and they were sharing their journey. I was asking the questions. Along the way, it taught me so much about systems and processes, sales. And then came the opportunity that some of my guests never did a live or never did a video. So here I am. I'm like, wait a minute. I know this feeling. I was not comfortable being in front of the camera. And the only reason I'm doing this is because I have somebody. So, hey, why don't I help them get confident being on camera? Show them, let them know that it's going to be okay. And after 100 lives, I started working with a mentor, which is how I met Doreen. And next thing I know, she was asking me questions like, okay, if you don't like your first business, tell me more about the lives. How many of the 100 have you coached to get in front of the camera? I said 40. And she said, well, that's where you need to begin your second business. And that's where it started. So I love helping solopreneurs and corporate professionals to get in front of the camera so that they can build visibility to their brand and business by using the power of video. And also, by using the power of video, it also helps those soft skills like public speaking, presenting, even just having a simple conversation with your boss to say, hey, I would like to be able to work on different projects, or these are the things that I've worked on because this is what's happening to me. This is how I've helped other clients of mine. And now I'm taking this journey. Like, yes, I got laid off 9 days before Christmas. And it's by that point, when I started my second business, that's when I started going live on LinkedIn. That's when I started to really come out of my shell. And I remember telling Ahmed Khalid, I said, I'm about to lose it all by going live
Mhm.
on LinkedIn, but I am willing to lose it all because I know in my heart this is where I need to be. And on December 16th, when they laid me off, I was like, okay, this is I knew this day was coming. I was not prepared, but I was on the phone with Rob. I called even it was Courtney, and I was talking to Kizzy, and I was just like, this really happened. They said, well, look at it from another point of view. Look at all of us. You have all of us to talk to. And when I posted about I got laid off, the amount of love and pouring of like phone calls that showed the community that came just because I was showing up on camera, I was helping others do the same, and most importantly, sharing the journey, the story.
Yes, the story, and that's what connects us with others. And actually, you learned by doing, and I don't know if it happens to you, but I often get the comments, "Oh, but your live streams are so good. It's so natural. You are so natural on camera. You're so good at it." If I show you my first videos, my first appearances on camera, trust me, you wouldn't even trust that it is me, Doreen, on the other side of the camera. You wouldn't believe it. I was so shy, so intimidated. I wouldn't move. I would barely breathe. And I would just, So today I feel very much comfortable and I enjoy being in front of the camera because I have been doing it for years. It's not perfect today. 6 months from now, it will be better. 1 year from now, I will feel even more comfortable doing what I do. But that's the thing, you need to start and you learn by doing. And Sri, I think now you have overpassed within a couple of months more than 100 live streams on Instagram. So I guess it's way more if you combine both Instagram and LinkedIn.
It has. I have to go back. I'm close on. It seems like I have done a lot, or at least 300, but I'm actually close to 200 only because I did less and I started to get more focused on the days that I go live. But I just want to bring up the point that Doreen just said. She is a woman who goes and talks and speaks to thousands of people, hundreds of people. And the moment she gets in front of the camera is a whole different story. So I would love to ask you, Doreen, like, what is one thing that has helped you as a public speaker to transition to be able to get in the front of the camera?
I have learned, so it will sound cliche, but I have learned to feel comfortable being uncomfortable. So
Woo.
whatever makes me uncomfortable, I know this is what I need to do because we become uncomfortable and we become afraid of doing new things when it's time for us to grow. So this is how I see it. This is my personal analysis of, okay, I'm concerned, I'm afraid, I'm uncomfortable about doing this, about this idea. Then it means that I need to do it. So that's how I go about it. But before we dive further into the conversation, I want to welcome our audience here. We have our dear friend Robert. Hello, Robert. Thank you for tuning in. We have Florence who says, "Good afternoon everywhere." Vuana who says, "Hello from Washington State." Yes, Washington is in the place. Will Sullivan.
Ah,
I made it.
Will.
Yes, you made it. Thank you for joining us. Two awesome human here. Christopher, following your dreams, your desires is key. Before you know it, you're standing in your own shadow, and it's like your superpower. Ooh, we're gonna talk about it. Let me welcome my
Mm-hmm.
people here. And so everyone is networking. Congrats. And I see you. Okay, guys, use the comment section, fire it up. And if you have any questions, please, this is your opportunity to ask it. If you feel uncomfortable getting yourself in front of the camera, if you don't know what to say, if you don't know what equipment you should have, or if you should have any equipment, we're gonna talk about it. But of course, if you wanna a personalized answer, this is your time to ask your question. So Shree, let me get back here. You mentioned it wasn't easy for you to get in front of the camera. So how did you went from being sick about the idea of getting in front of the camera to becoming the professional, the expert, the coach who train other people to get comfortable in front of the camera?
I will say this. The fear never leaves. The fear is there, but the fear is not the driver. The fear is the passenger. So I'm in
Mm,
control. So that's the difference, is understand it's just like an entrepreneur. Where I am today, somebody else's Darine is a little bit further, but there's still the same fear. It's just that there's a difference of how will I allow this fear to get the best of me. So when it became, okay, I don't like the way I sound. I don't like the way I look. You can see my gray hairs, like, oh, and then and then there came the will the people see and realize that I'm sweating so much? Then there came, well, what if I have to cough like I'm about to right now? All of these things come to mind, and it just realized just be you. If they like you, they'll stay. If they don't like you, they'll go. The biggest obstacle for me personally was realizing the value that I had to share.
mm,
Ne-
yes.
I went a very long time not believing I had value. I didn't believe in myself, even though I've helped so many people and I didn't see it. So that is one thing that video showed me, because I had to go back and watch all of these videos, watch all the people that I've helped. And next thing I knew, I was like, wait a minute, this is the same person who wanted to cancel, almost canceled. Next thing I know, they're like, okay, Shree, I'll do it for you. just
Oh,
just hold my hand. I said, okay, I'm not leaving. I'm right here. If I And that's when I learned to really listen to the enunciation, the way that their voice inflected, of all these things that I had to train myself, because this is a person that's super scared to be on camera, and so I need to help them. So if I notice anything, I mean, my first time that I had over 250 viewers on an IG live was with a girl who never did a live. And I asked her a
wow.
question. And next thing you know, you could hear her just like, what, wait, what? And I said, this is the same question like this. And that's because we had spoken on the phone. We worked through the questions. And this is how I work with other clients of mine. Vanna, Missy, they were part of a 3-day video challenge that I had last week. And they didn't get to hear me really, but they did get to hear the feedback. And I challenged them, I pushed them just a little bit, because we believe stories that we can't do a video in less than 30 seconds. We believe that we don't have the right equipment. I only had a phone when I started, and when I didn't even have a stand. I had a hairband and a globe to go live. And right now I have boxes to hold. I know I need to upgrade my my stand, but I'm just saying, like, we need to get out of that mindset that we need to have it perfect. You could use what you have. Think about this. If you are interested in creating a course and you want to wait for the right equipment, how about just doing some practice of going live on Instagram, seeing the feedback that others are having? Will this course make money for you? Two, now that you've already practiced it once, when you get in front of the camera, when you have the right equipment, it's not going to be the first time. Or think
Mhm.
about this. You are about to make a presentation. How many of us are working a 9 to 5, or even think about your business? You have to make a presentation.
Yeah.
Now, think about this. Video can allow you to help see those little things that you do that you don't know you do, or say words, filler words. If you are part of Toastmasters, you understand filler words. Video allows you to see what are those things that you don't see yourself doing. Practice saying it in front of the camera and then hear yourself. There was a course I took when I worked a 9 to 5. She would record us. She recorded us before and then the feedback after so we could see the difference. This is how video can help. So sometimes we think, oh my gosh, I got to get in front of the camera and I'm going to make this one video that's going to go viral. How about we just do the video so that you can just practice? Just practice talking about your day. Just practice your speech. So when you get in front of everybody, let's say it's a executive team of 3 people, but it's the big top people, because you've practiced, now you're not worried about if I messed up or did this. Now you're just there to be answering their questions. Now you're there to be there with them. Or if you're going live, this is how I've helped is has helped me to do my first master class. Many Vana was there. She said, I never knew you were so nervous. But that's because I've done live so many times that it was just like another live to me, except it was a small, intimate group of people there. So I hope I answered the question of, if you need the right equipment, you can use with what you have, a phone. If you want to have really good like sound quality, you can always get a $20 lapel pin, or you can use, I got AirPods, but this is just to
Mhm.
start. You don't even have that, use your phone. I'm telling you,
Yeah.
your phone does magic.
The phone is magic. Listen, so you covered a couple of interesting things here. So let's back it up a little bit. First of all, you mentioned getting over of your fear to look perfect, to sound perfect, to have the perfect equipment, the perfect background, and all of this. And our friend Rob here says you get over the fear not by ignoring it, but by acknowledging it and then kicking its ass. And it's
I
true.
agree.
Every one of us, and you said it's free. Every one of us, we have this fear. And fear is a normal, it's a normal feeling. There is nothing wrong with like fear, but you have to be able to control it. So if you compare myself to when I started to now, the fear is not the same, obviously, but the way I control it also is not the same, you know? So that's one thing. The second thing you mentioned, showing up the way you are, being yourself. And our friend here, Phil Davis, says just being ourselves is important indeed. People will like us and others will not. We cannot please everyone, so focus on those who are here to support and those who can relate to you, to your story, and those that want to connect with you. And here, this is the situation today. Live example, people. You can see my face. I feel like I'm not put together. Okay, I'm being very honest here today. And I had a very busy day. Morning, woke up at 4 o'clock, and I'm working since 4 o'clock in the morning because I'm working with different time zone. And I didn't have time to put myself together. So that would have been me a couple of years ago. I would have canceled this conversation. I would have been like, there is no way I put myself out there with this face. Okay. But then I'm like, listen, I'm a professional. I'm a leader. And there are days when we are tired. And there are days when we feel good, we feel powerful, empowered, beautiful. And there are days where we don't. Still, as leaders, this is our responsibility to show up for others, to show up for our community. And I like it. It's a pleasure to be here. And I know it's the same for you, Shree. And I know it's the same for everyone watching us. When no matter how you feel as a leader, this is your responsibility to show up. So we are here, Shree with her beautiful gray hair, myself with my tired face. But listen, we are having a wonderful conversation. We are communicating, we are sharing, we are providing value. And this is what matters. And this is what we enjoy to do. So, here, kudos to you for mentioning that. Then you talked about the equipment. I can relate so much to every single thing that you have mentioned, Shree. Some of my most popular videos on LinkedIn are recorded on my phone. Okay? People, I would receive DMs and DMs asking me what do I use to record my videos because the quality of the image and the sound was so good. And I would tell people I use my iPhone. People wouldn't trust me. And actually, I would use this to to keep to send my iPhone. Okay, this or actually this. Okay, no one would have guessed it. And when I told people the truth, people wouldn't trust me. But this is the reality. So the thing here, the point that you are making, Sri, is that you have no excuses. We all started somewhere. The first step is the hardest one. But once you take it, what what could possibly come in the way? What could stop you? So now my question to you, Shri, since you have been working with clients, what do you feel being the biggest factor, the biggest fear outside of what we just mentioned that hold people back from, using video and leveraging videos to build themselves up?
It goes back. I did a video, and I had Missy is talking about the challenge. 5 harsh truths why you're not doing video. 1, you don't think you have value. 2, you don't like the way you sound. 3, you think you're holding on to a story that has nothing to do with what's going on right now. And then if you keep on going, it really is bogs down to what are the excuses? I don't have time. You had time to watch this live, which we appreciate. Please don't go
Yeah,
anywhere.
yeah. We want you to stay here. Please stay with us. Don't go. Hold on.
Hold on. But just think about it. Like, even not myself, I've hit burnout. So next week I'm going off the grid. I'm not doing anything social media, no work related. I am taking a step back. Maybe you need that so that you can see what are your priorities. Then 2, look at your schedule. You can look at your schedule as a week or as a month view, but we all have times, some pockets of time where we can dedicate, okay, I'm just going to record on this day. I'm going to do the copy on this day. For Shree, it's Monday. Myself, Mondays. All I'm doing
Mhm.
is recording. I'm not doing anything else. I'm creating all of my videos and editing them. And if something doesn't sound right, I have time to go back and edit them and then post them. So and plus, I'm on TikTok. So I have learned if I post a video and it is crap, at least I have a chance to go back and say, why was it crap and how can I make it better? And then put it out, because we have to understand some of I'm going to use an example. Some of the biggest influencers on YouTube make money on the fewest videos. So they could be posting video per month, maybe like 2 times a week. But only 4 videos are the videos that actually make what they make in a month. Why? Because they understand that not every piece of content is going to go viral. Not every piece of content
Mhm.
is going to speak. But what matters is that you have consistency, that you keep pushing the content, you keep putting the value. So for you, if putting out maybe 2 or 3 times a week is what you can do that, because in a month, that is 12 pieces of content, and maybe 2 will go off the chart, blow up for you, and it will get you your 3 clients. So don't look at like, oh my God, I'm not going to have my video sucked. Man, my videos sucked I will just say this. My videos sucked in the beginning. Even on TikTok, I put a piece of content. My daughter had her birthday last week, Monday. When you hear the video on TikTok and you see the video that's on LinkedIn, you will see there's a difference. You will see that I went back and I revised the messaging and it made sense. But I didn't let that hold me back. I didn't sit there and say, well, it didn't work and I can't do it. Let me ask you, how many times have you made presentations and it didn't go the way you wanted to? Did that stop you from going back to 9 to 5? Did it stop you from keep going out there to get more clients? No, you just said, okay, what can I learn from this? How can I get better? Same thing with sales calls. You're not going to get a yes every time you talk to somebody, but what can you learn from that that you can use for the next lesson? And this is just, if you think about video in a bigger sense, you will start to realize that video can help you in more than one way in life. And that's something that I had to learn, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
looking at it because people kept telling me, well, video is not going to be a very profitable business. No, video is not the only source of business, but think about what video can do for you in a holistic view. What about
Mm-hmm.
those soft skills? What about those promotions? What about practicing your sales skills? Every time you go live, every time you do a video, you are practicing being in front of somebody who is a potential buyer. And either they're going to say yes or no. So if they're not following you, that's fine. But if they come back the next day, there's something about you they like. Then they say, and when they decide to follow you, that's great. And then think about Doreen. I know you probably have like a million lurkers every day. Aren't you surprised of the one that says, I've been watching your content for over a year and a half and I want to work with you?
Yeah. And actually, what I have noticed is the people who become my clients, they don't engage with my content, but they do watch my content and they have been following me, learning from my content for a long period of time. So that's the thing, like if you create content, if you create videos to get viral, it's not gonna work and you will quickly get discouraged. But the thing is, you have to change your perspective. Like, what do you do video? To impact one person, to share your knowledge, to position yourself as a leader in your industry? What's your why? And once you're clear on your why, it becomes easier to be consistent at doing videos because you know why you are doing it. And your why should be stronger than getting likes and views. Yes, it's important, but listen, you can have, I can give you a concrete example. I have one of my posts a year ago now who went viral with like almost 5 million views. I got a lot of attention. As of today, I haven't got one client from this viral video, but I got almost 5 million views and thousands of comments and engagement. But I get clients from videos, that are just simple, me sharing a few tips, sharing my experience, providing value with a few comments, a few views. But it resonates with people, and that's what you want to do. You want to share your story, and you will, by sharing your story, the people who your story resonate with will connect with you. And I think that's very important to mention it. But 5 million view. Can we get $1 for each view?
I
My
know,
goodness.
Lydia.
I know.
A
LinkedIn
quarter,
should
just a
pay us
quarter.
for
Just
that.
okay. Give a quarter. We could do a lot with a quarter because they add up, right? 5 million quarters leads to still a lot of money.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you. Anyway, we have like some fun comments. Some funny conversation happening in the comments where people are sharing like the craziest stuff that they have used to
I
record
love it. A
videos.
piece of scotch tape. Oh, Missy, you got to take a picture of that. Show us. That's a great idea. Because we get creative. There's plastic bags, there's books, there's hair ties, there's children that are holding our phones. If they're, we keep them steady and promise them some gift at the end.
Yeah, so Missy says that she actually used a piece of scotch tape. This was her husband's idea. She had propped her phone against a computer monitor but needed the phone to tilt forward a bit. So that tape actually led the phone in the correct angle. I don't know how, she doesn't know how, but listen, it did the job. And that's the thing, you got to be resourceful. You do with whatever you have. When I started at the beginning, I would pile up books and I would, like move one of my furniture from one place to the other. So I could be in front of the window. Now I have lighting. But listen, like you get started with what you have. Again, there is no excuses. You don't need to spend money. You don't need to do whatever you think to get started with video.
I would say
Uh,
if you do want to spend just and you want to get a better sound quality, you can buy a cheap $20 little pin that's a little mic. You see people talking to it like this. If that's what you need, that's what I would recommend. You can find them on Amazon. And then there's also a cheap ring light that's like $20. But remember, natural lighting
twenty
cannot be
dollars. It's
anything.
here. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. You don't need a lot. Yeah, you really don't need a lot to get started. Like you don't need a big budget. So we are hitting the 30 minutes mark. So what would be uh, uh, your last insights, inputs that you would like to share with our beautiful community here?
I would like to share that you have a story, you have something of value to share. And the moment that you start to realize that, nothing will stop you. Not even this little camera right here or right there is going to stop you because you are such a huge force and it only takes one person to impact. And you just think about this in a bigger sense. You put a video out and you only get 15 likes, maybe even 10 likes, and only 20 views. But turn that around and say, well, imagine 20 people in front of you, and 10 of them are coming up to you and saying, I like your video.
Mm.
Now you're going to look at it differently.
Ooh, never thought of this way, and I love it. Thank you, Shree.
You're welcome.
So thank you everyone for joining this new episode of Stand Up from the Crowd. We hope you enjoyed it. We hope that we have been motivating you, to get started, that you have learned somehow a few things or two. And that's it. I will see you next week, Wednesday, with another standout guest. Shree, thank you again. In the meantime, you take care, you stay safe, and have a good end of the day. Bye bye.